This is kind of really weird to go through this video. I recorded it the other day while I was down the park, and I was fine with it then. And then when I came back and I listened to it, and it was the wind had got to it, and I couldn't really upload it because you wouldn't have been able to hear anything. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to have to record it again. But I don't like to repeat things that I've said. I just like to go with the flow. So I haven't even, like, I tried to record it again and it was like forced. So I've been waiting till I've been in the mood to re-record it. And even though I'm not quite in the mood today, the house is empty today. So I'm like, well, now or never. Otherwise, I'm going to be risking the park and the van and things like that. So I'm in the spare room at the moment. This is where I've got a lot of my junk. And so I will attempt to try and recall the things from the video that never got published. And I've written some notes of what I remember on my other screen, which is my normal desktop. So hopefully I cover everything, but it is going to be a long video, and I'm really sorry in advance because I'm just trying to explore my truth. I'm trying to get it out, and once it's out I won't have to talk about it anymore, and you don't have to watch this. This is probably going to be boring anyway. It's only going to resonate with people who need to hear this, I think, or who are thinking the same way. So I will get it out of my body so then I don't have to worry about it anymore. While I've been going through this journey to a better life, one of the healings, if not the most important one, was to find out who I am before I die. I don't know, to explore the things that we keep hidden because society isn't talking about it. Some of us want to question everything we've been told and find out for ourselves what we believe our truth is. When I was close to death, the thing that hurt me the most, the thing that destroyed my soul at the most was, and I've talked about this before everywhere, is that I thought that I was going to go to my grave without anyone knowing who I was, and me not knowing who I was, because I was masquerading, I was living a lie. I was being the way that society told me to be. I was doing all the things that society told me that I needed to do. And inside, I was feeling like this isn't the reality. I don't think this is right. Something's just not right with this reality. But I was just going through the motions, being like everybody else, and just being fake. I was trying to be normal, and I knew the things that I was thinking weren't normal because that's not what I was seeing around me. It's not what people were talking about. It's not what people were doing. And I really feel like I've been given another chance at life. I don't know how long I have. I don't know how long you have. No one knows how long they have. But everything is different now because I am following my truth, and that has saved me. And there's a lot of things that have saved me, but speaking my truth was the most transformational evolution in my body. I don't know how to describe it, but that is where I've found the real truth, is being able to just speak my truth. And I feel really strongly about not wasting whatever I have left trying to impress the masses, trying to fit in, trying to say what you expect me to say, what you want me to say, because you think you have this certain idea about who I am. I'm going to speak from here. Can you see that? That's my gut. I'm going to speak from my instincts. I'm going to speak from what I've witnessed over the last couple of years, and this journey that I'm still on, which is still truth-seeking, still trying to find whatever my truth is, but I'm going to be myself. I've lived that life. I've had my fame. I have had money. And I've done the things that I wanted. I've done what society told me was going to make me happy and successful, and it was fake and unfulfilling, and it was pointless, and it was suffocating and stressful and miserable, because you can't go anywhere without living this lie. You can't speak to anyone without holding back. You can't express your real opinions or even question the things that you come up with every single day, because they expect you to have this certain belief, and it's it drives you crazy. And I think many people in mental institutions are perfectly sane, but they're put away in a mental institution, and they're probably the sanest ones of us all, because they've gone, I'm not going to conform to this way that people have told me to live. This doesn't feel right. And then their mind can't deal with it because they're not allowed to express these difference of opinions. So if I'm mental, I'm mental, you know. Don't put me away though, because I feel like I'm becoming saner with every truth that is revealed to me, with every experience that I'm witnessing that is totally not part of this normal view of the world. And I think we need to question everything. We need to question all these things that we've been told, because as we question them, we realize that, like, okay, we can go extreme. We can go extreme with our questioning and you know, think everything's a conspiracy and things like that. But you know what? Some things are a conspiracy. Some things are as mad as it seems, and people don't want to believe it, so they put the blinders on and go, well, that person's crazy. And they might not even think that person's crazy, but they just don't want society to think that you think the same way as that person who is not afraid to speak their truth, who is not afraid to question all these things that are going on. At the end of my life, having money, having monetary success, or having, which I didn't have at the end, but having fame and having everybody know you for a certain thing, and living this thing of, hey, I was successful, wasn't even a blip. It is so meaningless at the end of your life. Meaningless. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. You're not going to care. Life is bigger than that. It's much more than that. And we're actually conditioned to believe that being rich is being success. Being famous is being successful. We're conditioned to believe, to go after these things, to go after the house, the 2.5 kids, the dream. But that's somebody else's version of the dream. We're here for different things. I think we're here to experience. Just to experience. Having stuff, having possessions. We can't take that with us when we die. And I can't believe we fall for that. That we all fall for that. That somehow our valuable possessions mean anything at all when we're dead. Can't take any of it with us. I was a little bit upset that I couldn't leave anything behind for my family, because that's how I've been conditioned, you know, that you've got to leave something behind, a house, a future, something to make their lives easier, something. We are conditioned to believe that that's the, you know, at least in this society, at least where I'm from, even my dad feels bad that he doesn't have much to give us when he leaves. I'd rather have experiences with my dad than the stuff that he thinks is going to be important to us after he leaves. Like, It's not the stuff. It's not the possessions. It's not. They don't hold any value. So the big distressing part of thinking about my funeral, about my death, was not. I mean, it was that, oh my God, you know, I spent all this time, I wasted all this time in four walls trying to be a success and make money so that I can make my family's life more better. But the biggest part was, if anyone turns up to my funeral at all, which I wasn't even sure, you know, my self-esteem was so low by that stage that I was thinking, well, no one would turn up anyway. But if they did turn up, they wouldn't have even known who I was, because I was too busy to be a part of their lives. And when you're at the end, that human connection thing is actually what you think about. That no one even knew who I was. I was suffocating and never spoke my truth. And what would they say? What would my tombstone say? Here lies Penny. She was busy. She was too busy, actually. That was the mantra that used to come out of my mouth. I was too busy. Too busy. And I think other people also live this lie. They live the way that they think they're supposed to live. They're not following anything inside them. They're not following their soul, their heart, their gut, their instincts. They're on autopilot. They're running a program that was taught to them since before they could even walk. I think a lot of us are being fake, that we don't even know who we are. We live the way that we're conditioned to believe. We live the way our culture has taught us to live. That's what culture is. It's just mass conditioning of groups. Mass control of groups. To be a certain way. To think a certain way. To speak a certain way. To think the same. We're all sheep. We're all drones. We're all zombies. Afraid to think for ourselves. Afraid to think differently. Afraid to speak our mind. Afraid to be seen as different or weird. We're all people pleasers. And only those who are questioning it are starting to realize that speaking our truth is crucial to undoing that. That life is more amazing and powerful than we had ever imagined possible. That we actually have been kept from the truth. But I don't think it's on purpose. To the most part, I don't think it's on purpose. I think it's just been generational brainwashing, through the generations. But now that we're all starting to wake up and people are starting to speak about what they actually think is going on with lots of different things, we can undo this control. We can put a stop to the generational brainwashing. It's not easy though. I'm not going to waste the time that I have left wearing a goddamn mask for this. The only thing that matters is that my soul gets to have a voice before I die. I don't want to live in a prison. I don't want to keep all my thoughts hidden deep inside. So I feel like I've been given another chance at life to become who I am. Because I don't even know who I am. I'm starting to know. I feel like my entire life I've been putting up a shell, a wall. I defined who I was to the world. I defined who I was, partly by other people and partly from my own interpretations, from what you just define yourself as you're growing up. You decide, okay, I'm ugly, I'm a computer person, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I'm terrible at this. And you take on beliefs and you repeat them over and over again until they become your reality. But also you can take on beliefs that you don't even need to repeat before they become your reality. I defined myself to be a certain way. I acted out the parts. I defined my reality. I lived and I became the charade. And I can see it in others too. I could see it in all of us, in every single one of us. It's not real because we never question our reality. We never question our own beliefs. I never questioned my beliefs. I never questioned why I believed the things that I believed. And I never questioned what was going on in my gut. The instincts. I never trusted my instincts until everything was lost. And that's when I went, should have trusted my instincts. Every single terrible thing that's ever happened in my life had a gut warning that I should have listened to. We have the ability to listen to our inner instincts, our soul, our higher consciousness, whatever. We can trust that, but we also have to question our beliefs because we know that we are completely conditioned. You can listen to your brain, you can listen to logic, and we do, but I wish I'd known how right my gut was. And when your gut is screaming at you with the answer and you using logic to disregard it, and your heart says one thing but your gut's saying no, 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 no. So this opportunity, I feel like I've been given another chance to speak my truth freely, without worrying about being misunderstood, without being concerned about not fitting into the norms, fitting into what anyone expects me to do. Part of speaking my truth, I know I'm going to be tested every moment, not every moment of every day, but a lot. Like every interaction you have with somebody else is an opportunity to speak your truth, but also you have a conditioned response to not do that. I still have to bite my tongue a lot. I have to bite my tongue commenting. I have to bite my tongue at work. I have to bite my tongue now. I have to bite my tongue in social situations. It's a constant struggle to try to speak your truth. We are so conditioned to have people like us, and we want to be seen as normal. That fear is very real because we've had it ingrained in us all our lives. Bad things happen. Uncomfortable things happen when you speak your truth. Be nice. Conform. Obey. Do what everyone else is doing. Sit down. Shut up. And I believe that as I speak my truth, that my beliefs will change, that my truths will change. They will evolve, and that we don't actually need to agree on anything at all. I don't need anyone to validate my experiences. You don't need anyone to validate your experience. It is what it is right now, in this moment. And as I speak my truth, the truth is revealed. More truth is unraveled. It's like just verbalizing things, getting it out there, opens up the channels for unveiling more. We've just got to remember that we're a sum of all of the conditioned beliefs. We got told who we are before we even had a choice about it, before we even were conscious to question why or think for ourselves. We believed the people we grew up with and learned our first beliefs from. The first 7 years we weren't even conscious to questioning our realities. We were just downloading whatever information was being offered to us. A lot of the beliefs we carry around with us right now was programmed into us before we even had the ability to question it. We had questions and they were answered by educational institutions and parents and extended families and society, and by watching and observing our community and everybody around us, and watching the TV. A lot of our beliefs aren't even our own beliefs. We can't even trust our own beliefs. So I'm going to speak my truth as it is today, because that's how I'm freeing my mind. That is the most healing thing I can do for myself. And I don't really want anyone cushioning the blow for me either. I don't need people to agree with me. I just need an outlet for my thoughts. YouTube and these videos, this is the next stage for me to explore my own beliefs. I've already written a lot of things on my blog and in journals and in unpublished books. I've explored things that way. But YouTube is my next step for me. A way to catch my automatic programming, a way to discover and explore my belief system, and a way for me to get more truth to be revealed to me. And as I watch other people speaking their truth and then questioning whether they did the right thing, like thinking for themselves and then wanting to automatically go back to conforming to the masses, I understand that fear. I know that fear. I also live that fear. We want to be liked, we want to be understood, we want to be able to persuade people to help themselves, and we fear that we won't be able to if they kind of switch off because our current beliefs are in direct conflict with their current beliefs. So I'm like excited and I'm happy to hear people speaking their truths as it is for them right now. And when I see people speaking what they're holding back, when they are giving us a little glimpse to what they keep hidden deep inside, it shows that they're starting to question the norm, starting to question the reality and the programming that they've been given. So I'm perfectly okay, and I really want people to be able to speak their truth as it is now for them. Speak what you're holding back. Speak those hidden thoughts. Find out who you really are. Grow and evolve and let people really know who you are before you die. You don't get another chance, as far as we know. It's called critical thinking. And it's what I believe will save the world. People need to start thinking for themselves, instead of just blindly following the masses. This is the biggest problem in the world. It's that we just conform. We're sheep. And that makes us powerless to change anything. We need to get our power back. We are suppressed. We are a suppressed society. And we've been like this since birth. We've been controlled and conditioned by everything around us. Conformity is people acting like everybody else without even knowing why. We're all unique individuals. We're all looking at and experiencing the same thing, but with different lenses. We shouldn't fight about who is right, because there is no right. There's only different perspectives at each different time in our little journeys. I believe that our suppression of our thoughts is how we as a society is being controlled. I think it's our greatest mistake, and I think it's our greatest fear. And I don't want to go back to that dark place where I once was. And that place was dark because I was living a bullshit life. Just a fake life. Not living true to my soul, What a waste of a life that was. Just playing out a broken record. I was brainwashed. Just living unconsciously and doing what everyone else was doing just because everyone else was doing it. So I am trying to speak my truth, but every day is a bit of a struggle to do that. And I'm tested a lot. I see something and my beliefs are so strong and I'm so passionate about it. But I'm also aware that I'm conditioned and I'm brainwashed, and just as much as you are or the next person is, we're a result of everything we have ever experienced and all those beliefs we have taken on, even in a second, when we've had an innocent conversation with random people throughout our lives, and because we want to get along with them and not be seen as weird, so in every single conversation that we have, we try and find things that resonate with us, that are the same. We seek similarities. You're trying to do it right now with me. We try and be likable, and we try and find common ground. We're always trained to agree with each other. And we've confused being nice, what we're being taught as we're growing up, with conforming to the masses. We're told that it's not nice to disagree with people. So we're constantly trying to agree with each other and find... It was just trying not to think differently. And in a second, someone you speak to, they can say something. Maybe something they don't even believe themselves, but, you know, it sounds reasonable, it sounds logical, it sounds all right. And you go, you know, yeah. You're just agreeing, you're in the conversation, you don't really care one way or the other, but you say yeah, and you take on that belief. You give logic to it. You make it a part of yourself, and you don't even give it another thought. You don't even care. But it's in there now. It's in there in your programming now because you've agreed with it. You haven't had a belief one way or the other about it. You've taken it on as a belief, and you're not in a state of questioning it. But our subconscious makes it our new reality. And unless we have another conversation that changes that belief, this innocent belief that we, you know, just in a random conversation, it brings up in the next conversation we have about it, you know, and all throughout our lives. So before we even realize that we're taking on a belief, it became our truth. And unless these thoughts and beliefs are given the light of day to be questioned, we might not even realize that we didn't even choose this belief. We might have taken up one of our parents' beliefs, or a teacher's, or some guy on the TV, you know. And then just because that belief has been validated by a person and the next, because they're agreeing with us as well, it's just ridiculous. That's part of our conditioning. We don't get another chance to question it because we know that the words we're about to speak have already been accepted by them, by the norm. We have this security in that we know that what we're about to say is not going to be disagreeable, so we have these automatic conversations with people all day long. We are now on autopilot, thinking we agree with a particular point. It goes into our subconscious and we run that program forever until it is ever questioned again or interrupted, or something that is in direct conflict with that belief where we wake up. And that only happens if we're open to questioning it. And so now, not only are we just playing the same old record, if we do have any thoughts that are in direct conflict with that belief, we now hold back from speaking it because we were conditioned to be agreeable, to fit in, to not be weird. And that old record is already accepted by our peers, so we feel safe to speak it. I think that's why most of the conversations that we have in this world are completely fake. They aren't even real conversations. There's no substance, no real thoughts, no new beliefs, no new insights. They are repetitive programming from all the little yeses that we've said in our entire lifetime. And once we've held a belief long enough, we never question it because it becomes part of what we have defined ourselves to be. It's part of what the world expects us to be. We can't explore it anymore, except when we have a life-changing event that disrupts the pattern. And then we want to explore new truths because we found that something that we had as a belief doesn't serve us or isn't true for us. We want to explore these new truths, but it's difficult to do even when we realize that we're actually brainwashed, because we have so many automatic thoughts that are not even our own. We're not even sure we could trust this new truth that we're exploring, because now we're actually aware that we're programmed. So how do we explore our inner truths? We need to verbalize it. We do. We need to write about it. We need to get it out to the light of day. But who do we do that with? We can't do it with our peers. We can't do it with our family. Not all the people that have helped shape our beliefs, because we know they are on autopilot and that they expect us to be a certain way. And they also want to protect you. So they don't even want to let you have your own voice, because they want to protect their family, or they want to protect their reputation, or they want to protect you from being weird to other people. It reflects back on them. It's really crazy. So we need to branch out, but we have this fear, this ingrained fear. So not only do we have that to deal with, but we also think that other people, that no one in the world can handle our real truth or our new truth, especially when we don't even know what our truth is, and we can't find out what it is without getting it out. But we can't get it out because of this fear, this conformity. And we're afraid of hurting feelings, and afraid to be honest, and afraid to be wrong, afraid to be questioned, afraid to be rejected, afraid of that person not liking us anymore because we think their ego can't take it. Or that they will feel so uncomfortable with a belief that you know is in direct conflict with their automatic programming, you know? So what I've found so far by blogging and talking about different ideas is that many people can take it. At least you could find out those that are open enough to explore, to allow you to explore new ideas. Those that resonate with that will come. Those that won't will just leave you be. Most people will let you speak something that is in complete direct conflict with their beliefs, just because they're open enough to allow you to explore different beliefs. So there's some that are completely auto-conform, no, don't want to listen to any kind of difference in opinion, difference in their current belief system. And others are allowing of that. They'll let you speak your truth, even if they don't believe in the same thing. And they're happy to encourage you to speak your truth, even if it's in direct conflict with their own. They don't actually need to be on the same page. And YouTube might be a little bit different. I don't know anything about YouTube. This is my next phase, my next part of testing my own beliefs, verbalizing it out to a different area of the world where I don't know in advance what your automatic conditioned beliefs are. So I can't adjust what I say to make it easier for you to resonate. But it's something I must do. I must bring light to these things that are inside me that may not even be true, but they need to be spoken. They need to be investigated. I need to explore them, because it's part of questioning my own belief system and part of disrupting this automatic programming. This is something I have to do before I die. Expressing myself on YouTube right now is to allow myself to let go of any niggling insecurities I have. It's already been a transformational experience for me. I've let go of prejudices about myself. I can record a video without makeup or wearing nice clothes. I've got rid of being worried about my looks, about my faults, and about the things I say, my ums and my awkwardnesses. It's already becoming a growth outlet for me, and I don't know if I will continue to do it for a long time or not, or if I'm just here to use this as a growth tool for a little while. But right now, I'm getting a yes for this experience. To expose myself and my inner thoughts out there to the universe. It's a huge release for me when I ramble out the things that I'm thinking and feeling. Once it's out, and I don't need to think about it much anymore. It's not words and feelings unexpressed. It's a release, because once it's out, it actually makes room for more to come in. It's hard to describe. It's once you say the things you don't feel you're able to say, they're no longer a burden to you. They get released and new stuff enters. It's like, okay, it's said now, and it disappears, and it makes room for new ideas to come in. I've also come to believe that I'm honoring people a lot more by speaking my truth. It's more honoring of people to believe that they can take your different beliefs, not treating them like some poor thing that can't handle the truth, that can't handle your truth. They're not ready to hear it. But honoring them with your truth, as it is right now, in order for you to grow and for them to question their own beliefs, it's the only way I could think of to find the truth. Is to not put people, and I do it, and I'm doing it now. Even when I'm making this video, I'm thinking, I can't make future videos because no one's ready to hear my truth. It's too out there. So when I approach a conflict in my belief system, that is when I want to be my most 100% honest, and that's when I'm the most tormented by my own beliefs. Knowing that I'm just as brainwashed as the next person, you know, questioning why my beliefs, my feelings are so strong, and whether I need to speak my truth in this time or just hold my tongue again. And a big part of me knows that I am honoring my friends more by being honest, by not sugarcoating anything, by realizing they are intelligent human beings that that are far more, you know, capable than we give people credit for. They're intelligent enough and grown up enough to not need me to sort of dumb it down for them or anything, you know. And that I'd want them or you or anyone to always be yourself, to give you the freedom to speak your truth and let me know your thoughts and feelings and perspectives and things that are hidden deep inside of you, allowing you to explore your truth too, and that hopefully you'd want the same from me. That if we're all more transparent about our feelings, we're more open to exploring different ideas and speaking these things, that's when we learn the most, because something might just come out of our mouths that we may reflect on later and realize, hang on, that's not even my belief. That was my parents' belief. That was the teacher speaking out of my mouth. That was the TV. That's not my belief, and that's not a belief that serves me. And that's not my truth. And it doesn't feel right. It's media and generational brainwashing, and it doesn't serve me at all to believe that. And in fact, that's why I have this problem or that problem. You don't learn any of this until after you've expressed it and had a chance to reflect back on it later. If you hold it all in and keep yourself suppressed, these things that are, you know, wanting to come out, some of it is truth and some of it is automatic programming to be questioned. They never see the light of day, so you never question them, and it stays part of your old record, playing over and over and over again, running your life, helping you make the same mistakes over and over again too. And I'm coming from a loving place right now. I am speaking from a loving heart, from a love for humanity and a love for life and this miracle of an experience that we have been given. And even though I know we're an ant, I know that we can't possibly see the whole truth from our perspectives. We're like fetuses in mummy's tummy. We can't see the whole picture from our perspectives, from our sight. We think that what we see is all there is, but we only see a tiny speck of the magnitude of whatever the truth really is. And even though I know that, I still want to just live as true to myself as I can. I don't want to play this fake game anymore. I want to break the patterns of my own automatic, conditioned, broken record. I don't want to wear a mask. And then at least I will live as true as I possibly can, you know, from this tiny perspective, as in as much as I can from this viewpoint that I have. And to not keep my thoughts hidden because it just doesn't fit into what we've been told to believe. And as I've been expressing some of these truths on my website and in real life and on Facebook, I have grown a lot, but I've also found out how conditioned other people are. They don't want people like me questioning our reality, or at least the concept is so new to them that they're just not ready to face it yet. And maybe that's their journey, but I think this is mine. And actually it's helpful to have people who help you question your beliefs. That's one of the greatest things about the internet. So many people have found a way to express the things that are just not talked about in our everyday lives. With the internet you can be, you know, anonymous, you can write things up, you can delete things. But there is also, you know, people that hold you back from being able to explore anything. They shut you down and they automatically go into autopilot mode to make you fearful of sharing anything. And in this journey, I've realized that I've needed to remove a lot of negative people from my life, because you're the sum of the people that you hang around with, and they were keeping me suppressed. Their automatic conditioned beliefs of hate and conformity were messing with my ability to be able to explore my own belief systems. And I see the irony and conflict with that. Even when I was removing them from my life, I could see it, you know. How can I want people to speak their truth if I'm judging them and removing them from my life? How can I say that I let people be who they are when I don't want to see their black, dark, fearful remarks anymore? I removed thousands of people from my Facebook list who were spreading hate and fear and trying to rise up against the people that I want to help. That's not the world or reality as I see it. I have no room in my life for racism or for people who lash out to hurt the homeless or the unemployed, or people who are going into autopilot mode of trying to suppress those who are exploring their truths, or who are never questioning their own truths, or they're fighting against things. Now, part of the beliefs that I'm exploring is that I'm moving towards the feeling that to resolve the issues this world faces, that we need to start being the change. We need to question our beliefs. I just don't see any resolution in fighting against something. I see more war or anger or more distress, more pain, more conflict, more hate, more stress. A worse reality for all of us when we're fighting against something. And I'm trying to discover new ways of moving towards what we want, rather than, you know, fight against what we don't want. And I think that it starts with being the change, or leaning towards the type of life we want. But it definitely starts with freeing our minds, like critical thinking, not just agreeing with what everyone else is saying and doing just because that's what everyone else is saying and doing. So I want to be less judgmental towards those who I think are being part of the problem, less judgmental towards those who I believe are kind of unconsciously causing the very things they're fighting against. I was finding myself torn up over some of the things I was reading, and over and over again on my newsfeed on Facebook, and I was wasting a lot of time and energy, sometimes many hours, when I've noticed a friend post something that was in direct conflict with my beliefs, and I would type up something and it would take literally like 2 hours to try and write it in just the right way so that they would understand a different, less harmful perspective. Trying to be mindful of their feelings and their ingrained beliefs, and trying not to judge where they're at so that they could understand it and comprehend it and maybe stretch their beliefs a bit. But then I wouldn't even click post, because I'm like, they're not going to get it. I'm wasting my time. They can't possibly see all the things that have helped shape my beliefs to where it is now, because they have not been exploring the same things that I have. They haven't had the same experience. They're not on the same journey, you know. And I don't watch TV, so I don't have the same fears and thoughts as the masses. I don't walk around thinking this world is a fearful, dark, scary place full of the boogeymen. I only get access to this fear through other people who believe what the TV tells them and get depressed and frightened about it, and then they send that fearful energy throughout their daily lives. They hold on to it and they push it on to everybody else. And it's mostly people at work, but it's some family members, and a big amount of it was from my Facebook newsfeed. And I can do what I can about protecting myself from this energy at work and changing it around, and my family and friends. But my newsfeed, that was like, it was so much easier to fix. I just removed them, and no longer is my newsfeed filled with hate and fear and despair. You know, I can allow them to be who they are and experience what they want to experience, you know, in their own little world there, without letting them infect me with their poisonous, dark view of the world. You know, it's a view that I once had, but it was killing me, and it almost did. I have freed myself from that shit, or at least that's the journey I'm currently on. And part of that journey is just not fighting against. What I was finding was there was a direct conflict with where I want to be and where others in my life are currently at. And I don't want to fix anybody. I don't want to make everyone into mini clones of me. I'm having my own experience here. I'm having my own journey here, and I'm, you know, doing it my way, but I don't want everyone to be the same as me. I don't even know if my ideas are right. But I don't want to be wasting my time and energy typing up my new life philosophies on other people's, you know, news feeds. Like when I'm not even 100% that I'm on the, you know, the right track myself. I'm just having this experience. I'm allowing them to have their experience by removing them from my life. Because I need to liberate myself from people who shut me down whenever I explore a new idea. I need friends who will allow me to get these thoughts out and work out whether they are conditioned belief that is not serving me, or a truth that could be really making a difference in this world. And as I remove those who are not open to new ideas, I'm attracting those who are resonating with me. And it's liberating speaking your truth. It's so freeing to listen to your gut and get it out there. It helps me grow, it helps me evolve, and it helps me discover who I am. And the opposite of that is suffocation. Living in fear. Being suppressed and dying inside because you feel held back. That no one sees the world the same way. That no one understands you. That there's no hope for humanity. I'm going to say the wrong things here. Because there are still things that I'm discovering, still exploring. It's a lifelong journey of different perspectives, different experiences, and I'm still trying to find out, trying to work out what my automatic programming and automatic beliefs are. So there's going to be times when I say things that are part of my programming and some, you know, are conflicting with my new current beliefs. And you're going to say things that conflict with my beliefs. They're going to be in direct conflict, you know. It's going to happen in this journey, guaranteed. That's part of this never-ending, truth-seeking, free your mind, critical thinking journey. But it's the only way to move forward, to not be sheeple, to not be me toos, you know, to not be all torn up inside whenever someone says anything that conflicts with our own conditioning. We've got to let it happen. We've got to let people speak their truth. We grow from it. It helps us think. It helps us think about what we think. All we need to do is speak what we are thinking rather than just saying what we think people want to hear. If we find people that have different beliefs than what we resonate with, that's normal, that's perfect, that's exactly why we're here. We're here not to be me toos. We're here to speak our truth, to have these experiences, these real experiences, to look at it in different perspectives and not just be an actor in a movie. We need to be as real as we can be. We need to free our minds. I'm freeing my mind, and this is part of my journey to a better life. to becoming who I am, to speaking my truth and finding out what beliefs serve me and what beliefs hold me back. And I'm using this platform to find those who resonate with me on this journey, and also to just have an outlet, to just be able to speak these things, to get them out of my system so I don't have to worry about them anymore, or so that I can explore them and go, oh, I don't believe that anymore. You know, next day, next minute, next moment, who knows? After I finish creating this video, I may no longer have the same beliefs that I did before I started the video, and that is fine, and I'm allowing myself to be truthful in this particular reality of this particular moment. I don't want to be afraid to be honest. I don't want to be afraid that people won't like me. That should not be something I fear after everything that I've gone through. Being myself is not something that I should be afraid of. I don't know, society says that, but fuck them, you know, they're wrong. That is not what we're here for. We're not here to live in fear and to conform and live this act. No matter what the truth is, and I don't even know what it is, but I know it's not that. Don't you? I mean, we know it's not that. So this journey is for me to have an authentic experience, to live with my own integrity. I'm not trying to find the right words to say to please you or anyone. And I'm coming from a place of love, so I don't believe my truth, at least now, should have any cause for someone else to feel bad about what I say. They might not have the same beliefs, and that might cause discomfort, I don't know, but nothing that comes out of me should actually hurt anyone. But I still find myself holding back because of this lifelong conditioning of trying to please others, of wanting to be accepted, of wanting people to understand. And so it is very much a journey for me to be brave enough to speak my truth. And I thank you and anyone who is allowing me to do that. For the past couple of years, I've been able to write my truth, only in a few safe places. My private Facebook groups, private forums, a couple of friends that I rarely see, and my website. But my public profile on Facebook, it's just to give people a little glimpse. You know, I'm not even fully able to be 100% myself on there, and that's my own Facebook account. Because each glimpse that I send out, it kind of gives me a little bit of feedback to where my friends are and what they're ready to hear. Because sometimes I feel like the world isn't ready. So even when I want to live authentically, I still have these thoughts of no one can understand what my truth is. Like I put a few things up and a little tidbit here and there, and I'll get like the tinfoil hat comments coming back. And I understand where they're coming from because I have lived through the same eyes as them my whole life. These thoughts that I'm exploring are just as new to me, but I've had maybe more time to research and experiment with them so that I know that they are more towards my truth than hearsay, you know. So like I've said in a past video, I don't expect people to just get it, having not been through the exact same experience as I have. But I do have this incessant need to try and figure out a way to cut the learning curve so that others can get it faster. I'm not the same person that I used to be. I don't have the same beliefs. And a lot of the things that I believe now, I would have considered absolutely freaking crazy, absolutely nuts, bonkers a couple of years ago. But now, I don't know. You know, once I took some of these things on as a belief and I gave them a bit of a whirl and they worked for me, I can't undo that, you know. I can't undo what has worked for me. I can't see anything else. And I guess that's how I can understand where people who follow religions are coming from and things like that. Like, once they've decided that a certain belief is actually serving them, like if life is going along grand, you're happy with what you believe and you're going along swell and you're living the life that you want, why question it? The reason we question our beliefs is because most of society is miserable because they're not living their truth. But if you're living your truth and you're happy with it and your truth is different to all of our truths, stay with it, go with it. You know, you're here to experience whatever life you want to experience. But these beliefs that I have, I keep seeing evidence of it everywhere, and I'm guessing the same is true of people who follow religion. You know, once you have taken on something that serves you, you start, it starts revealing more to you. And I don't know if it's the truth. It's just my truth at this time. It's one that serves me well, and I keep finding more and more evidence that makes me not question it, and it makes it more enlightening to me. But it's more the, I don't know, the practical day-to-day experiments that make me excited, that help me realize that these new beliefs that I am living very much serve me and can help other people in humanity too. So my truth, as it is now, is kind of like the same as religion, because it's become my reality, the glasses that I view the world in. I can't undo that, and it's more like, and maybe it's the same for other people who follow whatever they follow, I don't want to undo what I've learned because it has served me so well. Even though I know that a lot of the stuff that I believe now is crazy compared to who I used to be and compared to what everyone around me thinks, I have no choice but to share what is working for me. This is my reality, and I can and I will attempt to try and explain it because I believe that it will help others as well. And as I share and come up against, you know, conflicts in beliefs with myself and others, that's also how I learn and grow. And if I have to hold back, I'm going to feel like I'm in prison. I might as well have died when I died. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to live true to who I am, whoever that is at this time. So I just thought I'd share that today. Probably because it comes up more and more since I started this channel, which is exactly why I created the channel, to learn and grow, get over my fears. I should, and I will start to see it as a good thing that it keeps, you know, that keeps constantly coming up, because that's when I know I'm really moving forward, because it makes me think about the importance of speaking my truth more and more, and the importance of allowing others to speak their truth. I don't know, I think I've said everything I want to say. I mean, I do struggle at times when I want to speak my truth, thinking that other people aren't really ready, and that I don't even know that I'm right, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But at the same time, I feel like I'm honouring them more by, you know, just being transparent about where I'm currently at, and speaking what I'm thinking, and not thinking they can't take it, or they're not ready, or they'll think I'm weird. I mean, who am I to judge where they're at and what they're ready to hear? But I do it. I'm doing it right now, and I know some people won't be able to listen to what I have to say in future. They might not, you know, they might think I'm a freak for a while, or I'm sure their lives won't be affected in a negative way from me speaking my truth. And it's never really about them anyway, is it? It's always about yourself and how you think people will react to you. But if all of us were just way more transparent without worrying about what other people say, I don't know. I think the truth sets us free. I believe that. I think it's the only way that we need to be. If we can do it, the only way. It's just that we've been conditioned so long, our entire lives, to act the way that society wants us to be. Even when we're children, parents, you know, saying, don't speak that way, or elder people when we're young, controlling us, criticizing us, making us feel you have to be a certain way to behave in this society. And so we're suppressed from the get-go. And even they were giving us pre-programmed responses. Their version of beliefs from their own conditioning weren't even their beliefs. It's from their parents and society as they were growing up. And you know, someone has to start questioning this generational brainwashing and social conditioning and control. I think I just want a different reality. I want to explore what it would be like to speak my truth, to explore new ideas and insights, to liberate myself from being suppressed, and to free myself from suffocation, to live my authentic self and become who I am. And I want to live in a reality where you know the person that you're speaking to right now is being authentic with you and transparent. They're not acting, and that you can be authentic with them. We don't let ourselves be ourselves because we are afraid that society won't agree with it, or that we will be ridiculed. And I would much prefer to listen to someone who is being honest, even if they don't understand, don't have a clue what they're saying. I would rather listen to somebody who is exploring their truth and speaking from within, and give them the option to, change their mind tomorrow if they realize that their truth has changed. They can correct themselves as they realize that their own truth isn't serving their life. I don't know, when they realize that what just came out of their mouths was not even their words, when they realize that it's their parents or the media or the teacher, not even a belief that they chose themselves. So I think the only way to find out whether something that's coming out of your own mouth is serving you or not, is true for you or is holding you back, is to speak it without worrying about consequences and the sheeple, and just find out who we really are, be free. I have to be honest about where I am right now. I'm not waiting to be something that I'm not. I don't want to live a lie. I don't want to pretend to be anything other than I am. There's nothing wrong with where we're at. This life is a journey. We're all experiencing different pieces of the puzzle, different truths, different perspectives. We're having different experiences, and there is no perfect time to speak your truth. There is only the journey. Once you start speaking and exploring your truths, more truths show up. The journey unfolds, more truth is revealed. And I've lived that life where you define yourself, where you market a version of yourself to the world, where you have made up some kind of version of yourself that you think you have to stay true to. I've lived that life where you define yourself. There is no I made it moment. That's a charade. Life is a journey. We have to be real. We have to be real. We have to be true to ourselves. I have been given another chance at life, and I don't want to be a knowing slave to conditioning. I want to have real moments. I have to not worry about whether I'm wrong or right, or worry about what others think. If I have fears about what other people think, I will hold back. I won't be living authentically. So what was the purpose of this video? That was to just get it all out, all this crap that I've been thinking, but also, I guess, I will really hope that anyone who ends up watching it starts to question their own beliefs. And I don't want to turn people's lives upside down, but they might find that 95% of what they're living automatically is not even their own beliefs and not serving them, and is not truth. And I'm going to also try and hit you with some big, crazy, powerful, life-changing stuff later, and I need your brain to be ready for it, so you need to start thinking for yourself. I don't know if you can take my truth. I'm getting closer and closer each day to be able to explain it to the world, but hopefully it'll come out soon, and I'd love to see more people get out what is crying inside of them before they die, if that's something they're ready to explore. Sorry this went so long. At least it's all out now, seen the light of day. One of my truths has been spoken, so I don't have to think about it anymore, and now I can move on to whatever is next in my life.